done it! I cannot believe it! I swear you'll never see anything like this ever again!
Hello everyone, we are Through and Goal, a podcast where we talk about football and pretty much nothing else. My name is Sam, and as always I'm joined by my co-host and very best friend, Elliot Clifford. Hello, Elliot.
Hello.
I'm getting the flow better.
Yeah, getting there.
How's your week?
Pretty unremarkable. Just, yeah, it was 7 days. Happened. How was your week?
Well done on
Yeah.
how many days are in a week. Thanks for that. Nothing happened, as always, but next time you talk to me, well, we talk to each other every day, but next time we record this, I'll actually have something to say with how's your week, because it would be the start of a week off. So,
Oh, beautiful.
So I'm looking forward to that. But no, pretty bad. Only one place to start this week.
Yes.
Do you think it was offside?
Well, it's not, is it?
Well, no.
Well, by the law.
Well, I mean, yeah.
By the law, I mean, technically it is. But
even
no.
technically, it's like, is it?
The thing is, I'm sure you were told the same as me growing up playing football, level is onside. That is yesterday is as close as you're going to get to level in the modern game of technology, of VAR. That is, yeah, I mean, it's a ludicrous decision, really, isn't it?
It's all about perspective, and like, if the camera's like facing down and to the left of them, what if you bring that camera to the centre so they are like level with each other? Is Mane going to be level? Is he going to? It's
Yeah.
Oh my god!
The thing,
And
that,
of all goals to rule out as well, the 90th minute winner in a Merseyside derby.
Jordan Henderson.
Jeez, that's
Yeah,
brave.
The thing that's actually quite funny about this decision is that for all of last season, well, and I suppose all of this season so far, the amount of arguments about handball, we need to change the handball role because it's hitting someone's shoulder. It's not hitting their arm. But the reason that I believe this goal was given as offside is because of the change in the offside rule. Because I think if you look at it, it's given offside on Mane's sleeve, and I'm not even sure it's as much as his sort of the upper forearm. I think it is as little as the fabric coming off of his Liverpool shirt is offside. So I think that is the reason why it's been called offside, because technically by the rules you can score with your sleeve now. And I think because of everyone complaining and lobbying and getting the handball rule changed, that we've got to mess up another part of the game.
What's happened to football? It's just, I feel like we should change our name to Through on Goal. Oh, hold on, VAR check.
Yeah. We should have a slight delay at the start of every podcast.
Yes, just to make sure our logo, we need to have like VAR review.
Yeah,
because if we're offside or not, it's just it's so frustrating to watch, because obviously everyone dreams of being a footballer when they're younger and they're growing up. Everyone does. I always have. I still do. Every time I curl one in at the park, I've scored a couple of crackers with you at the park, and I figured, you know what? If there's a scout watching, yeah,
I've still got it.
I can't run, but set peak dead balls and stuff.
Tom
like
Huddleston's made a career out of that.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Elliot, but remember our days at Dempo? Like we didn't win many games, granted, but like someone was watching. Yeah, they could at least go. Yeah. Okay.
To be fair, most of the time that anyone was watching you playing, you ruined your wrist. Saving
every
shots.
time. I don't think I've ever played football where I'm not injured.
No.
There's something that's happened. I remember the first time Lana came to watch me, man of the match performance. I think we know why. I mean, Lana was there.
Girlfriend's turned up.
Yeah, like
you need to
we
turn up.
We were only together for like 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, we play six-a-side. Come and watch me play. Yeah, man of the match, me. Oh, sorry.
It's all
anyway,
downhill
it's not
from
about
there.
us.
Yeah.
Yes, six years later, we're recording a podcast.
Anyway, back to a lower level of football. Merseyside derby.
What was I saying? I don't know. I was trying to brag about myself.
It was about dreaming as a kid, and I'm sure you're going to go on
yes,
about
you
how
dream as a kid.
Everyone dreams to score the winner of sort of in a derby match, that kind of
Yes,
thing.
you do. Yes, you a 90th minute winner in like the derby. That's you made up, you sold. But then all of a sudden, that euphoria just drops because it's like VAR review, and you're thinking, oh my god,
The thing is, though, as soon as they've taken more than sort of 5-10 seconds looking at it, you just know it's going to get overturned.
You regroup. You go, right, okay, 2-2. Let's go again. And I know it's the rules and stuff, but I miss watching the Premier League how, obviously there's none of this in the EFL, League One and League Two, and you'd argue they're actually a bit more enjoyable to watch. I think the Championship is, on a whole, more enjoyable to watch than the Premier League. This season, though, the Premier League's been absolutely mental.
It's just been
with
madness,
how it started.
hasn't it? It's just been goals galore.
But I truly believe, like, the EFL, especially the playoffs this season as well, and like when we're watching Soccer Saturday, that final Championship game, look, you got the teams in the relegation, brilliant. I don't think you get that kind of stuff at the Premier League, but with the VAR, it's like, it's so robotic when you're watching it. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's very, like, there's no, I don't know.
I lost the words, but yeah, it just kind of takes.
It's not how it used to be in my day.
It takes the sort of emotion out of the game, and it's all sort of got to be done by the letter of the law. It's like you've had teams in the past, rightly and wrongly, go up on dodgy decisions, and obviously, well, I suppose you still get dodgy decisions, but now now you've got a computer to blame.
But the thing is that with these dodgy decisions like this offside or by a sleeve, like, they're so much harder to justify. Like, if the linesman didn't call that, if there was no VAR and the linesman didn't call it, and then everyone's zooming in, like on Twitter going, that Henderson goal should have been ruled offside. Look, he's slightly offside. The linesman's going, I'm not seeing that. And also, it's a bit easy to, but it's so hard to justify now. It's just, I don't know.
Also, I think that if the Henderson goal had stood, I don't think it would have had the comeback on social media of everyone saying, look, it's offside. Because I think the vast majority
for Everton fans.
I think everyone in the world, apart from the whoever it was at Stockley Park and Jordan Pickford, thinks that that's onside.
Yeah, there was no hands raised when it was Mane got the ball. There was nothing. So we'll keep on with VAR reviews,
or lack of.
Well, they were. I'm sorry, but like, I swear, every episode have the rules changed again? Because every episode, I swear, there's different rule changes with football. I don't. So if you can 2-foot a player, and there'll be a VAR review. Oh, he was offside. Don't matter then. Don't matter then. That's like, carry on. Right, so Van Dijk, obviously, it's been announced today that he's a cruciate ligament damage to his knee.
He's going to have surgery. It's going to be a long time out. And even after that length of time that he's going to be out, whether he's even back this season remains to be seen. But with someone, the age he is sort of late 20s, early 30s, he may not ever sort of properly, fully recover from this.
That is... They're the ones, aren't they, that you just never see a player kind of get back. Van Dijk, he's superhuman sometimes with how he is. Like, 1 week he's the best defender in the world, and the other week he conceded 7 to Aston Villa. I still can't believe that.
No, I know, yeah.
I still don't. I feel like we should talk about that every podcast until it's not. Until it's kind of normal.
As much as I'm going to be non-biased here, as much as that would be quite entertaining for some, we would also probably lose some listeners. So let's not dwell on that for too long, because I want this to be a success.
That's fine. Sorry, Jordan, but come on, 7-2. Anyway. So it's looking. You're thinking season. You're probably thinking he's going to come on as a sub, unless there's a mid-March coronavirus break again. He'll be out for the rest of the season. Maybe come on towards the end. Pickford, that's a red card every day of the week. First off, what is he even trying to do? I'm confused by that. Like, he's a goalkeeper, go in with your arms or something. Do you know what? He didn't have to make that. And two, it was so stupid and clumsy. And the only reason, and like I read on Twitter, I think it was something like the people at Stockley Park, they were looking for an offside. So now that the offside happened, that was kind of it for them. They was like, okay, it's offside.
Are the people at Stockley Park maybe looking at it in terms of an offside, in terms of giving the penalty, not about a red card, but about giving the penalty? Because I presume you maybe wouldn't be able to give the penalty if it's offside, but obviously you can still send Pickford off. But then, by the sound of things, they weren't even looking at a red card. It wasn't even in a consideration.
I'd be very surprised if there's not some sort of retrospective action taken, because it was shocking.
I don't think he's gone out there to try and hurt him. I know it's a derby, it's a full-blooded match, but I don't think he's gone and wanted to put someone out for eight months.
No, I don't know. But
he's flown in, and
VAR is there for clear and obvious errors for the referees. Who's there for the clear and obvious errors of the VAR? Because that was a very clear and obvious error.
Can you imagine we're reviewing a VAR check?
We're reviewing the VAR review, yeah. VAR review complete. VAR review. It's just because it was very clearly an error. Something should have happened. I don't know how much the ref had a say in it. I don't know if he saw it, or the linesman at least. He had a good view. But no, you've put here, and I think this is a very, very good point. Should referees have post-match interviews? Now, yes, 100% yes. Because if a player, I'll use David Luiz as an example, because he did it when he came on at Man City at end of last season. He came on, he gave away a goal, and then he got a red card. It was shocking. Like whatever was going on, it was awful. And he's come out and he's explained, I'm sorry, this is what I did, it was awful. If a player makes a red card challenge, or he messes up, goalkeeper makes a foul or something like that, you're semi-expecting that player to come out and be like, yeah, sorry, take responsibility. This is what was going through my head. The manager, Grant McCann, after losing 8-0 to Wigan, he's forced to cut, he has to come out and explain what on earth happened. So why are the referees not coming out and explaining? Because the thing is, I feel like if we get that view of the referee, I want to know what he's thinking. Why have you not given that? And I want to know why he's not given it. Maybe, I'm not saying, why he's saying it's going to be better, but you would have a better sense of a feeling towards the ref, being like, I see what you're saying.
Because obviously you don't want to put the referees off refereeing, but I think that there should be post-match interviews with the ref, and maybe they know beforehand, before the interview, that they're going to be asked one question with no follow-up questions. What made you give this decision? And they're not doing it on opinions. They're not doing, I thought this. It is, with what rule have you given this decision, just to sort of clarify it for the millions of watching fans.
And VAR said it's not. You blew the whistle and you said it is. The VAR said it's not. Do you agree? Something like that.
What was the reasoning behind it? Yeah, but even possibly if you wanted to avoid them doing post match whatever. I know we're sick to death of rule change after rule change. But what if the ref made a signal which meant that he was going to be mic'd up like they do in other sports, and until he blows the whistle, he's putting out his reasoning so that it can be heard. And obviously football players are different to other sports players, so they'd want to be in the ref's ear. But if the ref makes a gesture or something which means that he's talking, and anyone who comes up to him booking for dissent regardless until the whistle blows, something like that. I know it's, in all
fairness, like I know ref players had this knack for surrounding the referee, but I feel like whenever I see a referee go, talking to a player, go like checking my ear and stuff, he's not as crowded as much, if you know what I mean, as when he would if he was just to make the decision. Yeah. The problem is that a player will come out in a post-match interview and say, the referee did this, the referee did that, the referee bad. That player gets fined, will definitely get fined by the FA, and that player could face a 1 or 2 match ban. However, no matter how bad the ref plays in a game or gives away a penalty that was or anything like that, he's reffing the next game. He gets in his car, he goes home, trains for a week, and he refs the next game. There's so much protection around the refs that it's just let them explain.
A couple of occasions I can think of that the refs have made awful decisions and they have been taken off the next game week. But that's extremes. That? Yeah, it's like maybe one a season. But
and it's like I don't know, but Pickford should have got a red. Mane, rules are rules, but come on now. 15 minutes into the Tottenham game, I said to you, I've got a feeling Tottenham can win this league. I have a feeling that they're so good attacking. And right now, looking at the way that they've been playing, especially against Man United as well, attacking-wise, I can't think of many other teams in the Premier League that are doing what Tottenham are doing right now. Yeah. But then Tottenham do what Tottenham do in games. Yeah. And how am I supposed to tell Jacob when he's older? And I'm going to show him a picture of Tottenham 3, West Ham 0 in the 82nd minute. And I'm going to tell him that Tottenham did not win that game. Yeah. Even though they brought on Gareth Bale, had Kane up top.
I mean, Bale should have finished it, shouldn't he?
Yeah, right.
I'm gutted.
Lack of match fit. Yeah, I know. It was a fairy tale, wasn't it? Like lack of match fitness. Obviously, he's just come back from injury. He goes across the keeper. I was a bit surprised by that one.
I just thought he'd bury it.
Him,
yeah, but also, can we just discuss the absolute audacity of him walking on the pitch for the first time in 7 years to take a free kick
straight off? He didn't even look at Son, did he?
Yeah,
He was like,
"This is mine." Yeah.
Sorry, what? Sorry, you waiting for someone? Yeah, off you go, Son. Cheers.
Sorry, Hyun-min. How many Champions Leagues have you won?
Yeah. How many bicycle kicks have you scored in the Champions League? No, wait, no, that was me. Off you go. So, no, obviously, to see Bale back in the Premier League, where a Spurs show is absolutely brilliant. So, we'll talk about, you say the absolute audacity of Gareth Bale to come onto the pitch and just take the... What about Lanzini? Just to be like...
He's got no right to even hit that, has he?
What a goal. I'm sat there and I'm like, oh my word. That I can't believe it. And everyone that listens to this podcast knows that me and Elliot agree, if it's in off the bar, it makes it sweeter, doesn't it? And again, you talk about games that you dream of scoring in some sort of derby and stuff like that. You score a goal like that for 3-0 down to equalise in the last kick of the game. That's dreams as well. But here is, right, okay. And I know my mum and dad will be the exact same thing sat at home, and I know every Tottenham fan will be as well. We go on and on and on and on and on about the offside, about the rules, about VAR. But when something like that happens 95th minute, you are praying, someone offside there.
Can something happen?
Did that skim off his hand? I might have skimmed off his hand. And you're praying for someone to say VAR review, aren't you?
Was Yarmolenko in Lloris's sight? Or
I'm sorry, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, no, Lloris can't see that ball because he's about 10 yards in front of him. He can't see him. VAR, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's two sides to it. You're praying for it. But
also, like, absolutely taking nothing away from the goal. I mean, even fair play to Lloris for getting a hand to it. He got fingertips to it.
Great. Souness made quite an interesting point when he's not bashing Pogba, is when
United played yesterday, that's why he wasn't talking about Pogba.
That's it. So, yeah, Pogba probably would have missed that shot. It's going top corner, and Lloris is going to his left-hand corner, and Lloris is going with it with his right arm across his head. And you're thinking, will the keeper not have a better reach if he's using his left arm towards the ball? Now, I'm not saying I'm an accomplished goalkeeper. I'm not. I'm good in a six-a-side goal because they're smaller. But and I was all right for Norton. Yeah. Norton under 14s, wherever I played. I was cracking. I was absolutely smashing that league. I kind of agree. You've got a further reach.
See, I don't. Because yes, you've got the further reach of going with your left hand, but what you sort of gain in your reach, you're that much lower with it being the lower hand. So maybe you gain in it being your higher hand. But I think very much that if he goes with his left, it would be about tipping it over the bar, whereas if you go with your right, it's about stopping it. That makes it like trying to get a bit of a palm to it rather than just tipping it over. But
I think, again, I think the thing about that goal, though, was the fact it was always going away from him. No matter, it wasn't straight, was it? It was just swerving round.
I think that's goal of the season decided, though. It's going to take something special.
Yeah,
it's going to take something like a Giroud scorpion kick to beat that.
But I want to, through all of West Ham's, because they played well, though. You saw that Tottenham in the second half just held off. They just didn't try. I don't think there was that attacking flair for them. They kind of held off. West Ham, they missed an open goal, didn't they? Antonio crossed it in. I can't remember who was at the back post. But
it wasn't Souček, was it?
It might have been I think it was the right back or someone. As us doing our research before the podcast. So could have easily have won it. But how good is Harry Kane?
I think he's the second best striker in the world, and I think it's him and Lewandowski top two, and then I think it's a distance below him. It's some distance.
I think he is the best striker in the world. I do.
I think the 12 months that Lewandowski has had, I can't put Kane over Lewandowski. I think the Ballon d'Or shouldn't have been cancelled this year, and it would have been Lewandowski's all day. I mean, if you're looking at this season, if you're looking at the 5 games played so far, or maybe 8 in all competitions, whatever it is, I can see your argument. But
I just feel like Kane offers the team so much.
He passing scored range. It's the first goal, isn't it? Yeah.
His part is, and I think right now, De Bruyne, again, is the only one that I could think of that would challenge him. But right now, in world football, I can't think of many other passers of the ball, vision-wise, that are better than Kane. This is Harry Kane. This is like... And the thing is, he scored 2 and assisted 1. You know, he assisted all 4 Suns against Southampton and scored. Lewandowski's going to get you goals, but Harry Kane's going to contribute. End of the second half, end of the first half, he made a block in his own box for West Ham.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, they made a very good point that he's like the perfect team player. That coming out in the second half, he had more touches in his own box than in the attacking box.
But I remember it was like, because Son scored his first goal of 45 seconds. That's how long it took Tottenham to score it. And I was sat there, Jacob was crying.
Big West Ham fan.
And can you tell by these bags? I'm so glad I'm so glad this is all audio, because if people were to look at this,
it's a half hour we got to stop for you to have a nap as well.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know why I'm complaining. I'm the one that's got to look after her while she edits. But anyway, I get to do the good part. He's in bed, I record. She spends all day with him editing. Anywho, I was just sat there and I looked up to the TV, and Kane is like CDM 30 seconds in. I'm thinking, what is he doing? Yeah. And then he finds that pass to Son, who scores, and I'm thinking, oh, that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. It's right now in world football. My opinion. I can't think of any. I get your Lewandowski argument. I do, and as I said, they are definitely top 2.
Yeah,
100%.
Like if I asked you a question right now, who's the 3rd best striker in the world, out and out striker in the world? I wouldn't even know where to start on that. It's a tough one, isn't it?
That's a good question.
Because you'd put
Jamie Vardy.
You put.
I mean, I don't think. Yeah.
You'd put for last season's displays, at least, because he's had one good game so far in the Premier League. Timo Werner, he'd be somewhere in the discussion for around there, but
Benzema's always consistent. Suarez gets you goals,
but yeah, it's a big drop off, isn't it, after those two?
Dominic Samuel,
yeah,
Josh right, Tom Eaves. No, I agree. So, but obviously it's a Premier League season which has just thrown up so many surprises so far, and it's not going to end. Obviously, there's still going to be so many more. Everton are unbeaten at the moment, 5 games, top of the league. Who is winning this Premier League? I don't know.
It's a real tough one this year, because obviously Liverpool have had the loss that they had against Villa. They're not looking...
What loss was that?
It happened a couple of weeks ago. I want to keep off our listeners.
I know.
But yeah, so Liverpool aren't looking the team they were last season. They're obviously going to be without Van Dijk for at least the vast majority of the season.
And as long as Adrian's backup keeper...
Man City as well, they're not looking the team they were a couple of years ago. Then
Chelsea signings haven't
gelled yet.
Yeah.
I still think they're going to be a success, but it's when you have the massive overhaul that you have had with Chelsea of sort of 6-7 new starting 11 signings, they need time. Could it be a year for an Everton, for a Tottenham, for someone who's sort of less fancied?
Yeah, yes, I agree. So
at the moment the game is still going on, but I think Aston Villa are 3rd in the league with a game in hand. I mean, I'm not saying in any shape or form that Aston Villa are going to win the leave, but
no, I mean their goal difference looks good as well. To be honest, you could say you want to keep Liverpool fans. I'm getting Villa fans on side. So we've got to have a. So the thing is, on paper, Tottenham have got Kane, Son, Bale. They've made the right signings this season. Ndombele seems to be really performing as well. They've got a World Cup winning captain, goalkeeper in Lloris, who's on his day one of the best in the league because his reflexes are stupid.
His shot stopping is brilliant.
Yeah, Reguilon seems to be really settling well. They've got depth now, like Dele Alli and like Lo Celso. I know they're injured, but they're not even in the squad yet. You look at the team that they've put out, and you're thinking that's a strong squad.
Strong team, yeah.
And they've got arguably one of the best minds, in football managing them. You think, why can't Tottenham win the league? And it all stems down to I don't want to say it's Tottenham because that's such a stupid argument, but Tottenham just don't seem to kill games. They don't seem to.
Yeah, it's not a sort of, you think of...
Every Tottenham fan will tell you, even though they were 3-0 up, every Tottenham fan will tell you, but it's a very Tottenham thing.
Yeah, you think of some of the sort of great Premier League winning teams, United under Fergie, Chelsea under Mourinho, they don't even let the sides back into the game.
No, that's it. I think Tottenham are winning a trophy this season.
I
do think
they'll win the League Cup, because I think that it's obviously the earliest opportunity for a trophy, and I think it means more to Tottenham than it does anyone else, or it means more to Mourinho than anyone else, because he wants to keep that up of winning a trophy everywhere he goes.
Yeah, Europa League as well, I think is a good shout for Spurs. I do.
Yeah.
But yeah, and obviously you look at Everton, like Calvert-Lewin, he seems to be, to a lot of people, I think, seems to be having this Harry Kane effect of, he scores goals, but then you keep thinking, is he going to score next week? Or is he going to keep it up? Is he going to keep it up? And he is. He scored for England on his debut, and he scored again in a Merseyside derby. He seems to get those headers in, doesn't he? He seems to be good at that. They've got, again, a world-class manager behind them.
Yeah.
Their midfield is brilliant. Their attack is score a goal. Weak point is the goalkeeper. That's without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. Why can't they? It's the question, isn't it? Why can't Tottenham or Everton win the league?
It is. I think the biggest argument is that they're not a Liverpool or a Man City. That is the biggest argument at the moment. But yeah, it's a 38 game season, and will that argument be going on all 38 games? We'll find out.
Yeah, exactly. Every week, obviously, we'll discuss it. So you'll find out. Obviously, it wasn't signed in time to play today, but Ben Rama joined.
Nearly wasn't signed in time to sign.
Well, he failed a medical, and then they signed him on loan for the season. Something's not right.
With an obligation to buy, I think. Yeah. So he failed the medical, but then it turned out that the intention was to still buy him anyway. And by that point, I think the loan was done, because it was going to be too late for it to be done permanently. So it was sort of get the loan in and sort the paperwork later, just get him signed. Clock's running out.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, this is a team that did Andy Carroll's and Jack Wilshere's medicals, and they seem to pass fine. How was Ben Rama not passing? I don't know. It's interesting to see Ben Rama's transfer link history with Chelsea, and then it's Palace, and then it's West Ham.
Yeah.
Seeing him in the Premier League, though, I think is quite exciting.
Yes, he's a fantastic player, and
very good.
We always said that regardless of whether Brentford went up or not, that he was going to be playing Premier League football this year, and he is. And I think, although West Ham, they today and the last couple of games they played a 5 at the back, I think they'd be so suited now to a 4-3-3 with Bowen on the right, Ben Rama on the left, Antonio gets goals through the middle, and then you've got your choice of Lanzini, maybe Snodgrass, something like that, in a sort of number 10 role behind the striker.
There's nothing really too much of note happened on transfer deadline day, but Butland in the Premier League 5 years ago, you're thinking, well, yeah, brilliant. But now, I don't know.
There was talk a few years ago of him going to Liverpool as number 1. Then you fast forward a few years, and he's going to Crystal Palace as number 2. I mean, I can't see that he'll be number 1 and get Gaeta's position, but it does seem a much better fit that he is going to go to Crystal Palace than be back up at Liverpool, because he has had some mistakes over the last year or two, and
his confidence
it'll be on the floor. Yeah, and if he was to go in with the high pressure that is demanded at Liverpool and drop an absolute clanger like he's been prone to, end his career, put him out of his misery.
Yeah. So it's a good move all round, like for Butland as well, to get a move back to the Premier League. He was a good servant for Stoke. He stuck with them even when they were relegated. He still stayed. So yeah, that's all we have to say, to be honest, isn't it? Tottenham signed Swansea centre-back Roden.
Don't know a lot about him, but I did.
No, he's tall.
Yeah, I did see reports that both Ben Davies and Gareth Bale had advised the club to sign him. I mean, don't know how much.
Yeah, he's a ball playing.
But
he's a ball playing centre back, so he's good with his feet. And he plays on the left side centre back, which I think is where Tottenham semi lack.
Right.
We talked at length last week about the pay-per-view Premier League. We both had our thoughts on it. Yeah. Well, there was one thought, and it was awful.
Yes. It's quite universal throughout the game, to be honest.
Not a very good idea. Now, it mentioned, obviously, when what we were talking about was that how La Liga, Serie A, they have a $5.99 a month service where you can watch every game. Now, why is the Premier League not following suit? In an age where Netflix, Amazon, Disney Plus, there are so many streaming services that everyone has signed up for. There's money in it. why are the Premier League? Why are we not following suit with that? Now, I think a Premier League subscription service is a good idea. I would sign up for it.
So,
What do you think?
I would again also sign up to it. And the example that I've got is that I also like watching NBA, and the NBA have got international streaming service where the last sort of full season it was around £200 for the entire season. That means you could watch, I think it was just over 1,300 games during that season. So I think that works out to about 15p a game, 15p a match, whatever. £200 for a year.
Right.
I mean, that's over the course of a 10-month season. That's kind of affordable. You can pay it monthly, whatever. And for watching Premier League football, I think £200 for a year isn't too bad. But yeah, why can't the Premier League go and set up Premier League flicks or whatever? And yeah, just charge people whatever a year or a month or whatever. And because this £15 a week is too much every week.
£15 a game.
Yeah, it's not even a week. You don't even get the week's worth.
No, it is a game. No, it's awful. Obviously, we're not going to touch upon it too much. Listen to our last episode to hear our thoughts on it. A streaming service, because they did it over Christmas. Amazon, didn't they? Amazon had a fair few games. I think at one point, did Amazon stream every single game at one point? Oh, Boxing Day. I think every single game was streamed live.
Match weeks that they streamed every game, because there was a midweek one, and there was I think the midweek one was when it was it that crazy Merseyside derby last season? And
yeah, and you're thinking, it worked. I think. Yeah. Well, anyway, I think it worked. So you know, the Premier League, you have the 10 games. Well, obviously, it's not so much going to be the 10 games, because obviously you've still got licensing with Sky and BT. Because you've got to think Super Sunday. That's 3. That's up maximum 3 games that they tend to. Obviously, BT has one in the morning, and then your 2 and 4 o'clock ones. You then have on Saturday you have the 5:30 game. Then Friday you can have a game on Friday, and then on Monday you have a game. So that's 6 games out of 10. So then, when you think about this streaming service, are we only paying for 4 games?
Yeah,
that aren't being televised.
Perhaps.
And then how much? And then obviously you've got highlights that you can watch, but highlights available match of the day on YouTube. You know, Sky Sports upload 7-minute YouTube videos, literally 10 minutes after the game's finished for you to watch. I would love to see one, because I think having all of them there, and they can even have their own version of like a Soccer Saturday. I'm not saying I'll watch it. Nothing beats Jeff. Like, you're never beating Jeff. Jules is all right, but
we don't even talk about BT score or whatever it's called.
Score, I don't know what it is.
It's just,
I like BT's coverage. I think their coverage of the Premier League, they cover the National League as well, which I think is very good. They do good coverage of the women's football as well, which is very good. And their Champions League coverage as well.
I'm
is
a big
very,
fan of the
very
goal
good.
show.
Very good.
It's it's been told to me, a great sort of way to describe it. If you've never watched a goal show, it's like watching the highlights live. It's
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's cracking. That's an absolutely cracking description. Get that rated to BT.
For all the positives BT has, they also do have Chris Sutton, so you can't win on every point.
And Steve McManaman on commentary. Fletch. Oh God. Yes, so the commentary team's a little bit left to be desired, and you think their coverage is so good, how can they get their BT Sports score so wrong? I don't know. But I don't know. It's a good idea. It's something, but I think with licensing, it's a difficult one. But I'd pay for it. I'd love to see it. I'd find a budget. I don't know how much, but I'd find it.
We don't need dog food, don't need baby food.
I mean, Bruno's fat. He could do with losing a few pounds, you know. Sorry, Bruno, not feeding you today.
We've got Fulham, Sheffield United.
Brighton v Fulham's on the TV. Yeah. No, anyway, it becomes a thing. Yeah, so I can't believe I've just joked about not feeding my dog because I want to see Mopay versus Areola in goal. Speaking of goalkeepers, that was an unintentional segue, but
smooth.
It worked out well. It was. I promise you, I did not plan it. It would have been a lot worse if I did. Kepa, he's world's most expensive goalkeeper, and now he's the world's most expensive number 2.
I mean, yeah, he might not even. I don't know how long he can even stay at number 2, to be honest. Because I was watching Chelsea against Southampton, the first ever Premier League pay-per-view match, but I was in the pub. My £15 went on drink and not on not on paying for the game.
Money well
Exactly.
spent. Drink responsibly, but money well
Yes.
spent.
So, yeah, I mean, it was actually a really good game. It followed the Merseyside derby, and I thought, oh, nothing can match what we've just seen. It was a cracking game, but yeah, Kepa is a strange one. Yesterday was his third Premier League game of the season. He currently has 3 errors leading to goals, 1 in every appearance, which is, I can't remember whether it's more than or the same as every other goalkeeper in the league combined, and it's just shocking. So the big problem of his was the second goal, where they're coming out. I think he miskicked it. Southampton are attacking, and he kind of hesitated and didn't commit 100% to the challenge. And so as soon as you don't give 100% of the challenge and somebody else does, that's no longer a 50-50. Striker gets the ball. I mean, it was a bit of a mess sort of before it finally went in the net, but we criticised Pickford for kind of being overcommitted earlier, but Pickford would not concede that goal. He would just clear it. He'd get it gone. But Kepa, I don't know whether maybe a year ago when he was a little bit more confident, he would have got to it, and whether it was just sort of overthinking the situation. But it's another error leading to a goal, and what's eventually cost them 2 points.
No, I don't. He won't want to sit on the bench. I think he knows very much he's the worst goalkeeper. He's a capable goalkeeper on his day. I don't by any stretch of the imagination think that he's a bad goalkeeper. I don't. I think he is a good goalkeeper, but I don't think he's world class. I don't think he's amazing. He's a good goalkeeper when he can be. But, we're talking about a goalkeeper that refused to be subbed off when his manager's screaming at him to come off. He won't sit on the bench. He won't go. He'll want to. I don't think January. Do you look to maybe loan him out in January?
I think you've got to. Yeah, I don't know if selling would be the right thing at this stage, because it's a big investment. But maybe
thing is,
loan could suit.
And the thing is, though, I don't think he's played 2 games, Mendy, and I don't think we've fully established. Is he good? Is he all right? I think you have to wait for that as well to come out. But no, I don't know. I don't know. He's not.
I feel like the goalkeeper position, more than any other position on the pitch, is very much confidence based, because you've seen seen Jack Butland's career go down the pan because of confidence. You can see Adrian's kind of deteriorating because of confidence. Kepa, it's because of confidence. And although that said, one of the most confident goalkeepers in the world is Jordan Pickford, and he still drops a clanger every now and then.
Wow. Yeah. And obviously, just to round up the Premier League, Zabaleta's announced he's retired. Arguably, he's probably one of the most successful right backs in English football. Gary Neville honours wise, I think, is up top. But where do you think he stands in the list?
I think for me, he's second choice. He's the second best right back in Premier League history for me. I think Gary Neville gets there above because he was part of that great United side. But Zabaleta he's got to be right up there. I'm trying to think of other examples. Ivanovic had some brilliant times at Chelsea. He may still win the league at West Brom. But I think Zabaleta's probably the second best right back in Premier League history. Would you agree?
He's definitely one of the most underrated, I think, definitely. He seems to be the core. He's been a player that just, I don't think in a back four, he's the one that just doesn't get talked about, even though he's very much the core of, I do. Even at West Ham, I don't think, obviously, he was past his prime at West Ham, but I still think he did a job. And
scored against Gillingham.
Why'd you have to bring that up? You lost 8-0 to Wigan.
You've already brought that up once today.
I know, but it's 8-0 to Wigan. I can bring it up as much as I bloody like. 8-0 to Wigan.
It's not good, is it?
We beat them 3-2.
Arsenal in the Championship. How long ago was it when you were in the Championship?
Don't matter, does it? We're in the same league now. Same league now, mate. Yeah. Well done on being in the Championship.
Okay, but we'll remember September the 12th. 2-0. Key Lewis Potter.
Yeah, well done.
And
I remember it.
The other goal scorer.
I remember it this day I lost a best friend.
Wow.
We all remember it for different reasons, don't we? Yeah. But anyway,
this just got very petty very quickly.
I was about to say, you'll notice this week on the Twitter we will be looking for a new podcast host, so feel free to leave your applications.
Cheers for your time here,
Sam. My best friend. I was going to say, if you want to be my best friend as well, applications are open. Derby aren't very good, and that hurts to say because obviously they're Jacob's local team. Bought him a Derby kit, but ever since you've bought him a Derby kit, they've been awful.
I'm sorry. I mean, they did get that win against Norwich. That is probably the biggest Derby win of Jacob's life.
Yeah. Derby have scored twice this season. Only twice they've scored. They're really lacking that confidence in front of goal. We're talking about a team that has Wayne Rooney in their squad, but cracking free kick. We talked about it last week anyway, or week before. So they scored 2 this season. Jack Marriott. They let Jack Marriott go
Their
on.
only fit striker so far.
I was going to say, I don't think by any means that he's the best striker in Derby's ranks. I don't think he's still a striker that can score goals, and that's what Derby aren't doing at the moment in time. Up the A50 on Brian Clough Way, we go to the next East Midlands club, Nottingham Forest, who have also scored 2 this season. Got a late win this weekend against Blackburn. And same record as Derby, 1-1, drawn none, lost 4. Both scored 2 goals, and Derby have just conceded 2 more than Forest this season. Now, Friday is the big who's the worst club in East Midlands derby at this moment in time. It's got 0-0 written all over it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean...
It's absolutely got 0-0 written all over it.
I don't know if you saw much of the Derby game on Friday. That had 0-0 written all over it until...
I did. It was awful.
I mean, it was
a cracking
goal.
It was a
brilliant goal to win it, but it was one sort of moment of quality in a game that, let's say, lacked quality. It was awful. I think it took 23 minutes for the first shot or something. It was something like that. Nothing happened.
No, it's a derby on the telly on Friday. I'm looking forward to watching that local team.
I presume that's at Nottingham Forest as well.
It's at the City Ground. I think Forest win that. I think they've got the confidence of Chris Hughton. They've just got their first win of the season. They want to bounce back. Chris Hughton's a fantastic management appointment, I think, for them. Personally.
Yeah, I think he's a brilliant appointment.
He's proven in that league.
Was it?
And I think he can help.
Was it Chris Hughton who got Newcastle promoted the first time they went back into the Championship?
That's a really good question. Maybe. He got Brighton up, didn't he?
Yeah.
And I think they pretty much sacked him to get Potter in. Good question. Because Benitez did it the second time because they just absolutely walked that league. That league. When you got Rafa Benitez as your manager and you still got most of the Premier League squad, yeah. Yeah, because Alan Shearer is the one that had them relegated.
He came in when it was basically already done, wasn't it? And that was unfair.
He was made up to be the Messiah.
Chris Hughton was Newcastle manager when they finished top of the league. I'm trying to work out how many points they got. So
are you adding it all up?
No, it's just.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure just look at the league table.
So in the 2009-10 season, Newcastle ended on 102 points, 11 points ahead of second West Brom, and 23 points ahead of third Nottingham Forest.
They've not started well, and I think it's only, Derby are only out of the relegation spot purely because Sheffield Wednesday had a points deduction, which could have easily have been Derby.
Yes.
Let's not forget that. They could have a points deduction, and obviously Wickham.
They scored.
Yes, they scored.
Have you seen the goal?
No, did you see that they
bundled?
I love Wickham.
Yeah.
All right, always a place in my heart. But they tweeted saying some might say it's a goalkeeper mistake, but we say it's our fault. And I'm thinking, you lost that game 2-1. Your goal difference is -11 because you conceded 12 and scored 1. It's your first goal in the Championship.
They all bundled on after. It was really good to see, and I think they expect that they're going to go down, and they're just going to kind of have a bit of fun with being in the Championship, and good luck to them.
That's it. But also to note as well, Bristol City, Reading and Bournemouth are still unbeaten in the Championship. Now Bournemouth, you had to go up anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
you do.
Not long after making the prediction, I thought it might have been a little bit ill-judged. They've let some bigger players go, but that's looking okay at the moment. That's looking reasonable.
Not too bad.
Yeah, you had
Reading.
Nottingham Forest though, didn't you?
No, you had Nottingham Forest
I?
going up in the playoffs. Yeah.
Oh.
Don't you bring me down to your level.
But yeah,
you had Forest going up in the playoffs. I had what? I had Watford
no one
and Norwich,
had Reading.
But no, oh God, no one's got Reading. Bristol City have always semi-hovered around a playoff place, but no, top of the league, fair play to them. And obviously Luton have hovered around that playoff spot, although it's the last playoff spot, there's like 1 point from 6th down to 13th.
Yeah, it's a bit strange what's happened with Luton, isn't it? They've kind of hit the ground running from almost getting relegated last season. Yeah, I had Forest in the playoff.
I know you did. You definitely did.
Well, I had Luton to go down.
We're awful at this, aren't we? We're awful
Yeah.
at these predictions. But no, obviously, yeah, the big game on Fridays is your Derby Forest. Well, obviously, there's midweek games. Just when this is released, Derby away at Huddersfield. Forest are at home to Rotherham, you'd expect maybe. And obviously, Wickham have got Reading, which, looking at recent form,
Up the
you
chair,
would have, I
boys.
was going to say, you would have thought that's a low bottom of the half clash. But no, that's... I don't want... All I'm going to say is, yes, Gillingham lost to MK Dons. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah, I didn't really see a lot of that game, but it looks like that they just didn't really create the chances.
I think they had one shot on target. Gillingham.
it's
It was
it's
not
what you
good.
want. And in truth, I was expecting Gillingham to get a result there with MK Dons being on the form that they have been on.
So was I, and I think there's two things that shocked me. The first one was MK Dons winning 2-0, and the second one, Cameron Jerome plays for MK Dons.
Yeah,
When did that happen?
the last I heard is that he was playing out in Turkey, and
See, no, I seem to remember him wearing like a bright red and yellow kit for some reason. I feel like I've seen that picture circulated. But Göztepe played for Göztepe.
oh, okay,
He signed for MK Dons literally a few weeks ago, and then
right, yeah.
yeah, well done on scoring against Gillingham. I don't care. Yeah, Gillingham absolutely just they lacked. I don't know what it was. MK Dons just coming out, hit the ground running, but Gillingham just lacked that goal threat. And last week, I was lamenting them. I was thinking, they front three and keeping Akinde on the bench, but it's a setback. It's a minor setback to every team has a minor setback before they win the league in the season. Every Liverpool lost 3-0 to Watford, and they still went on to win the league. So this will be our 3-0 to Watford. Gillingham will go and win the league.
Just before we touch more onto League One, I know this goal announcement doesn't mean anything to any of the listeners because it happened 48 hours ago, but Aston Villa have just gone 1-0 up in the 91st minute. Ross Barkley scored.
Oh, really? Have they?
Yeah. So
if you've paid your 15 quid to watch that, money well spent.
yeah, so Aston Villa go second in the league, 1 point behind Everton.
This
Who'd
podcast
have
gets
thought?
weirder and weirder every week, doesn't it?
And what makes it even weirder is that Aston Villa have a game in hand, and after 4 games they've conceded twice. And they are in a 7-2
They have a game in
win.
hand. What? Oh, yeah, they do.
Because they were due to play, I think it was Man United on the first weekend of the season.
Oh, well. Oh, my word. So, no, I can't. Your worst nightmare is Jack Grealish lifting the Premier League. Bruno decides he wants to be hungry now.
Well, it's because you spent so much on your football subscription.
Yeah. That's because I was watching Villa and Leicester in the background. Can I eat now?
That's definitely staying in.
We always find a way to bring jokes back.
Also, why are all of Gillingham's games at 1 o'clock now?
Floodlight costs. I think they're
Really?
trying to find a way to cut down costs. And with the
Wow.
games getting how they are,
Yeah.
I think they've requested, and it seems to be it.
Right, okay.
To be fair, it's a very
I
scary
mean, it
move,
makes
isn't it?
sense. Yeah, but
Anything to
Yeah,
cut
'cause
down costs at this very moment in time in a pandemic with the club that I love, do it. I don't
yeah,
care. Kick
no.
off at 9 o'clock in the morning. I don't bloody care.
at the same time, we've had a couple of midweek games moved to 7 o'clock from 7:45.
Oh,
I mean, I
Alam.
can't
Look at
remember
Alam's
that.
just splat
Yeah.
flaunting their cash.
Yeah, we got 20 odd million for Jared Bowen, but no, we need to turn the lights off a little bit earlier.
You want floodlights, so I'll give you floodlights.
Can't everyone just put their phones on? Villa are actually going to get like top 4, aren't they?
They can't. I can't record our end of season podcast where I've got them finishing bottom of the league and we recap our Premier League predictions and Villa in the top 4. I would literally retire. I couldn't do it.
I was just looking because I did my predictions as a whole 20 teams, a whole 20 Premier League teams.
Yeah.
And I had Villa finishing 4th from bottom.
Still early days.
But that game is now finished, 1-0 Villa.
But Gillingham are they're still in a position where playoffs isn't exactly just because they lost that one game. It's still just outside. We're talking 6 games in. I'm not gonna. Last week I was jumping for joy saying they're going to be. I'll be very bipolar every week, very up and down. Yeah. But anyway, well done, Hull.
Yeah. I mean, you look throughout the league, and there isn't really a lot of goals this week in League One, to be honest. And literally the only team to have scored 3 goals was us away at Rochdale, and it by the sound of things, it was a pretty convincing win. It was just a matter of when we got the second goal to kill the game off, and we then scored the third 2 minutes after scored the second. Wilkes got a couple. McGuinness with another goal as well. And I was always expecting that we would go to Rochdale and win, because they are one of the lesser teams in the league, without any sort of disrespect. But yeah, so we won 3-0. I mean, the biggest disappointment was, as good as it was that we won 3-0, Paul McShane did lose 3-0 on Saturday. But I'm pretty sure it's the first time we played Paul McShane since he left Hull City, and he was a true fan's favourite. He scored a goal that got us promoted. I'd seen him score a goal at White Hart Lane to send it to penalties. He's proper club hero, and we all love him. I know you got a few tweets off of him as well.
I did. I asked if he wanted to play for Dempo, and he very politely rejected, even though I offered to pay his subs that week, but that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. Funnily enough, I asked Justin Edinburgh as well. Rest in peace. I asked him when he was doing a Q&A for Gillingham. I said, if that's the SEC, I'll play your subs this week, it's fine. He politely rejected as well. No one wanted to play for Dempo. I don't think we were much of a draw, considering we were bottom of the league a lot.
It's like signing for Fulham, isn't it?
Yeah. Good, nice bunch of lads, but manager. Was I manager? I was manager or captain, one of the two.
Yeah.
I'm not putting that on my CV though. And Ipswich look like they're doing some business up top, still unbeaten. I had Oxford to win the league, and they're bottom of the league. So,
lovely. When
it comes to the last podcast episode of the season, where we look back on our predictions and we have a laugh, I'm going to do a shot for every. We're going to do a through-on-goal drinking game for the last podcast of the season with just how wrong we were. If we were 5 places out, if we were 2 places out, you take a drink. 5 places out, you do a shot. If you've got a team staying up and they go down, you finish the drink. I don't know. We'll do something like that.
So wait. So you had Oxford to win the league.
I don't want to talk about it.
And you've got the bottom of the league. So is that just finish a bottle?
That's
but,
finish a bottle of tequila.
I'm looking at my League One predictions here, and I think I'm doing relatively okay. My top 3 I had are Peterborough, Hull City and Sunderland, who are 3 of the current top 5. And then relegation.
Mine are Oxford, Hull. No, I didn't have Hull. I had them losing
you took
the
them out for Gillingham. Yeah.
Oh my God. I can't remember why I had Oxford. Gillingham going up. They'll still go up. We'll have a party.
Who was your third team?
I can't remember my third team was. It's on my computer. I don't know where my laptop is. I haven't got it saved. Was it Portsmouth? No, Sunderland. I had Sunderland.
Sunderland, yeah. 5th in the league at the moment.
But yeah, obviously we'll just quickly hit on League 2 as well. I don't know. I feel like I had Mansfield to go up, and they're in the relegation zone. Still yet to win a game. Southend, bottom, still yet to win a game. Cambridge sitting there nice, easy at the top. Bolton are struggling. They're really struggling in League 2.
I had them to go up. Yes, you'd have thought that this finally having no more points deductions, no administrations, everything like that, just kind of a bit of positivity to kind of just restart. But no, it hasn't quite worked out that way. Morecambe, who were top last week with minus goal difference, are now sit with minus 5 goal difference.
That's an incredible stat, that was. Do you want to do a quick European roundup? Not much more to say other than, I think obviously Ibra scored 2 in the Milan derby. That's beat coronavirus, literally first game back. Scores 2 in the Milan derby to win it. Real Madrid lost to...
Cadiz.
Who?
Cadiz.
Yeah.
I don't even know where Cadiz... I mean, I know it's in Spain, but I don't know whereabouts it's Spain. Weird. I put in Cadiz FC. Maybe it's...
You say that, they're 5th in the league.
I was right down on the
Played
coast.
6, won 3, drawn 1, lost 2.
And
they're 1 point off top.
Oh, wow. And as you were telling me earlier, they've got everyone's favourite former Middlesbrough striker, haven't they?
Yes, Braithwaite. No, I'm joking. New number 9 for Barcelona, who will be on the back of you. You're going to have a Barcelona shirt with Braithwaite. And not only that, he's the number 9. You are going to have a number 9 Barcelona shirt with Braithwaite on the back.
What a waste.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
Things you love to see if you're not Elliot.
Barcelona also lost as well, away to Getafe.
Yeah.
Which, if you remember, are one of the 3 Madrid clubs, if you remember from the quiz.
I didn't.
Yeah.
Where did I get it? Yeah, I was going to say. You could probably put that in the quiz in about 3 episodes' time, and I won't remember. I don't remember who Napoli's top goal scorer of all time was, do I? Even though you mentioned it. I'm our biggest fan. But before we end, Champions League this week, Elliot. Champions League football is back. Oh,
I was going to say I missed it, but it's only been about a month.
Well, yeah, to be fair, it hasn't been long. Yeah. But Champions League group stage, Europa League as well.
Really looking forward to that.
Now, what game are you going to be watching?
Don't know what games are on.
Well, PSG
No,
United.
I know there's Liverpool. That's going to be a hell of a game.
And obviously Liverpool Ajax, which I think is going to be quite an interesting game as well. Man City kick off their inevitable semi-final journey to the semi-finals with a game against Porto as well.
Well, for the first time in about 6 years, Man City aren't in a group with Shakhtar.
Yeah, and quite interested to know. Chelsea are replaying the Europa League final of like 2016. Their first games against Seville. So I can't wait. Champions League midweek. Oh,
yes,
it's the best.
Also, it's great as well because there's always those 2 games that start just before 6 o'clock. So getting football's on straight away. That's your evening sorted. But yeah, I think the sort of highlight tie of that is PSG against United, and
Cavani against one of his first games for United is probably going to be against PSG again.
Potentially, It does make you think though. Like if I went to France and went on holiday, I'd have to come back and quarantine for 2 weeks. But United are going to France on Tuesday.
Let's not get into politics, Elliot. We don't talk politics.
Yeah, no. But I don't know how they kind of work their way around it. But yeah, they're playing Chelsea on Saturday, so
that's for the government to I don't know. They say what they want. No one knows. Sorry.
Politics.
Anyway, right. We come on to no context news, but here we go. Change of thing. Every time it's my turn to end the podcast, I'm doing a pun. I'm doing it. They've been very well received by my mum, and I'm going to carry on doing it. So we come on to no context puns, because puns are never in context anyway. To end the podcast, I need to think of a new outro for mine now, because I know yours off by heart. Mm-hmm. Elliot doesn't know the pun I'm about to say, because otherwise that would just ruin everything if he did. I just say the pun and end the podcast. Yeah? This is the worst ending to a podcast I've ever done. But wait until you hear the pun. The pun goes as follows. Ha. Mildly amusing. Ha ha. Laughing. Ha ha ha. Sarcastic laughing. Ha 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 ha. Staying alive. We thank you very much for listening to this week's podcast. I've been Sam. That's been Elliot. We are... I'm so sorry. Please listen next week. It's Elliot's turn.
I'll find a actual headline.
We are TO Goal Podcast on Twitter. We're Through and Goal on YouTube. We are everywhere. You listen, find your podcast, Spotify, Apple, everything like that. Episodes released every Tuesday. Tell your friends. I've been Sam.
I've been Elliot.
And we'll see you next week.
Thank you.